This entire creation, existence, combination of form and formless. What is form?
Matter.
Prakruti. And formless?
Purusa.
Yeah. This entire creation is just a combination of Prakriti and Purusa. Today we will go deeper into the levels of this Purusa also. Yeah. He did it, but he just flew past it, so maybe you didn't get it, but it's in the sutras in your folder. So this entire universe is form, formless, form, formless. This is the form. The physical body is the form. And what is the formless?
Mind.
The causal body. The causal body is formless. Mind also has a form. What is the form of the mind? All your impressions, Nama, Rupa especially, that is the subtle body. If you paid attention yesterday, he said the moment the subtle, the names and forms fall off, the subtle body falls off. And all that is left is the causal body. Yeah, that diagram with the deflated balloon and the red dot in the middle. Yeah. The one that is around is the subtle body, the deflated balloon. It has Nama, Rupa, sight and sound, impressions, all on it. It has, of course, the other three also, touch, taste and smell. But predominantly Nama, Rupa is your main problem. Strongest impressions are Nama, Rupa, sight and sound. The moment sight and sound drop away, subtle body drops away. Yes? So, in a way, the mind also has a form. It's not visible to this eye of the physical, but your mind also has a form. Formless is that which you cannot describe. Can I describe anything beyond saying it's a causal body? Could I do anything? We spoke for such a long time on this topic yesterday. Could I say even a single word after it is the causal body?
Formless.
It's formless. Yeah. Something that is formless cannot even be described, because finally who is describing? This Prakriti is talking to another piece of Prakriti. This Prakriti is trying to explain to another piece of Prakriti how that which is beyond Prakriti can be. Words are limited. Do you get this? It cannot be described. That is formless. Yes? So mind is not formless because you're describing the mind, no? Oh, the mind is looking at all this. The intellect is saying right, wrong, good, bad, yes, no. Memory is storing these impressions. Yeah? Ego is saying, oh, I understand it, I am great now. Yeah? So, all this, that talking also, the words also, the description also is form. Look at it from a very intelligent point of view, the scientific point of view. Look at it. It is formless. So this entire creation has the drops of Brahman. And all these drops are nothing but Purusha or the self. These Purushas have an external subtle body, which is negative, which is stuck in something or the other, some nama rupa. That is why the subtle body is there. And then that subtle body in its ego also says, I am this, and it takes on even Prakriti. I'm telling you Yoga Vasishtha now. Yeah? So that's how the physical body gets formed. So physical is formed, subtle is also formed, though it is not visible to this physical eye, but it is also formed. What is formless? The causal body or the Purusha or the self or Brahman.
He said one more thing, that the space between the object is more powerful than the object itself.
Beautiful.
That example he had given is sun and the bubble in the water. But how about here, like we are, how is that? You see that?
No, that's what he's trying to explain to you, that the energy is more powerful than the Prakriti. You see the Prakriti, but you don't see the energy. Yeah. So I see a planet, but I can't see the space around the planet. I see the sun, I cannot see the space around the sun. I see the moon, but I cannot see the space around the moon. He's saying that space around the sun, moon, the planets is so strong that is giving it that
Form.
round, spherical form. You get it?
So is it same with the body too?
Perfect. This space around here is stronger than just this piece of Prakriti. There is a lot of knowingness here. And you go deeper and deeper into meditation, you start uniting with this space. You drop the form. It's not that you die, but while being in the body, you have gone beyond the body. And you unite with this space which is around. And this is nothing but Brahman. Brahman is the sea, and we little Purushas surrounded by our Prakriti are the fish in the sea. Yes? We are all in the Brahman consciousness. We cannot be outside of it. There is no outside of it. The outside doesn't exist. Only Brahman exists, and it is formless. Yeah? And that Purusha, which is inside the Prakriti, or has taken a Prakriti, I shouldn't say inside the Prakriti, that also is nothing but a drop of that same Brahman. Yes? Now you understand form and formless better? Everything is a combination of form and formless. Even a non-living object like a couch, even this has Purusha in it. Even this board, even the paper, even this computer, even your phone, everything has Purusha in it. The permutation and combination differs. The percentage varies. Yeah? But everything has Purusha in it. What does the ignorant mind give importance to? Prakriti or the form. And what does the wise one give importance to?
Consciousness.
This Brahman consciousness that is all pervading. And that Purusha which is I am that. What is Soham? I am that. Guruji has given it to you right on day one. The day you stepped into Art of Living. I am that. Soham. You've been doing that. So what does the Kriya really do?
It is to I. I am that.
You move away. You start breathing. You start with the physical layer. Yeah? You start with your pranayam, Vastrika. What are you doing? Yeah, you're taking in more oxygen. Yeah. I'll give you the medical part of it. You're taking in more oxygen with your Ujjayi breath. You know this? How long your Ujjayi breath goes. Normal breath does not go that long. Yeah. So you're taking in more oxygen. What happens at the first stage of pranayam? Why is it here? Yeah. Why? That's great. But why? Lower lobes of the lungs and
Middle portion and the...
no. We're talking only about the first stage. Why is the thumb on the hip bone?
To hold the prana there.
Okay, scientific. I'm a doctor from the university. You explain to me scientifically. Prana, what Vata, Pitta, Kapha, I don't understand. Scientific, allopathic.
Doctor will not understand.
You're telling a doctor that. Let me see. At this level, we have something called the inguinal glands. Yeah, it's the lymphatic system. Now, any building has a sewage system. A sewer system, all the waste goes away. Our body has something called the lymphatic system. Yeah, so that drains all the toxins, all the dirt from your body. Yeah. It's like the sewage system of this body. Got it? And how it does it? Through glands. Glands are glands and nodes. Okay? So nodes, just imagine they're small little round things. Yeah? That will actually suck out all the toxins, all the carbon dioxide, all the other gases that we don't need. Yeah? And take them away. Yes. Inguinal glands are exactly on the hip bone where you keep your thumb. Put your thumb and see. It's very important that your thumb should be on the hip bone and then your fingers in line. Yes. What does this stage do? Inguinal glands are activated while you take your Ujjayi breath for a long time. In, till that count. Yeah. 4, 4, 6, 2. Yeah, and then out. And in and out. In and out. Are you seeing this? Yeah. So you're actually throwing out more toxins than you would do in your normal breathing. So those who skip pranayam, stop doing that. No skipping pranayam because it's actually helping you throw out a lot of toxins from the body. Second stage. Where are the thumbs? Armpits. Yeah. You have nodes in the armpits also. Yes. And third stage?
We have what?
Nodes. Nodes, lymphatic nodes and lymphatic glands.
Okay.
So
What
those
does lymphatic nodes do?
the same thing. They are the sewage system of your body, no? Explain that. So here at this level, yeah, is the inguinal glands or the inguinal nodes. Yeah.
So maybe today in the Mahavriya we can say, take your hands to the...
People will open their eyes. What happened? Wrong class.
Now people will be more aware. Now something is being great now. Then they will consciously take the thumb over there.
Yeah. And the third part is where your tips of the fingers touch the back. Cervical area? Yes, cervical. You have the glands there. The same lymphatic glands are there. Yes? So that's what you're doing. You breathe in more oxygen and you breathe out more toxins. What happens in Bhastrika?
More oxygen
Yeah. But
to the lungs.
how? What is the mechanism?
Forceful taking out.
Forceful is good. And?
Forcefully breathing out.
Yeah, and? What is the most important thing that you must do in Vastrika?
Hold the...
Yes, this pumping action. Yes, that pumping action means the bellow. Have you been to an ironsmith or... Yeah, so you've seen what the bellows are.
Yeah.
If you're not doing this, then where is the pumping action? Vastrika is not happening. You're just doing aerobics. That's all you're doing, or you're in a wrestling akhada, whatever you call that. Yeah. So, the most important part of Vastrika is the
Pumping.
just here, if you can hear. I'm not breathing so that you hear it. You get this? This pumping action. Don't hit yourself, just let it fall naturally. It's falling naturally with the gravity. Yeah? I don't use any force. Let it fall naturally with the gravity and let it pump. That is the bellows breath. Yeah? So, in Kriya what we are doing? At the physical level, we are calming the system down, throwing out all toxins. What this does to the body, it calms it down. Yeah? When the body is calm and relaxed, I can move from the physical body towards the subtle. Now when I chant Om, it is moving, it's the transition between the physical and the subtle body. So those who skip Pranayam Vastrika is skipping a very important part of the Kriya. Do not do that. You go to Om. When you do Om, you enter the subtle. That's why when you start breathing, you see a lot of thoughts start. Happens? Yeah? And then after some time, emotions also come up. So what does Kriya actually do? It cleanses all these emotions. That is why Guruji says, no? If there's some laughter, some tears, you feel like screaming, let it out. Don't keep those emotions. Let it out. Empty all that negativity. Yeah. And what does the breathing do?
With the thought.
Perfect. Thoughts have a pattern.
Link to the breath.
Yeah. When I'm thinking, oh, she said this to me, she should have not said this, then this happened, then that happened. Okay, and I'm doing my slow cycle. She said this, then she said that. And suddenly now it is time for the medium cycle. Immediately my thought gets disrupted. Have you noticed? Now I'm doing the medium. No, I meant medium. And again the thought comes back. But she should have not done this. This is very bad of her. What does she think? I'm a bad person or what? I'm not a bad person. I can't think anymore. The thought breaks away.
And the thoughts in small pieces.
Perfect. That is what the breathing does. Cuts your thoughts. And then the thoughts fall away. After some time, when you continue your first round, your second round, your third round, by that time it's all gone.
But it happens the other way around also. Sometimes you are more in thought, then you forget about breathing also.
Awareness. That's where full awareness, I am doing my Kriya really authentically, like a good student. Yeah, that is required. That much discipline is required.
You tend to get sleep into Kriya.
You tend to sleep also.
Like, you forget the breathing, forget the rhythm of it.
No forgetting. A disciplined mind will not allow all this to happen. Yeah? You have a self-discipline, not imposed by Guruji or somebody else. You take it up voluntarily. That for my own self-growth, I want to keep this discipline. Next 20-30 minutes, very sincerely, I'm going to do the Kriya. Very sincerely.
Sometimes when you do that, you go into meditation.
Yeah, you complete your 3 rounds.
No, but during the Kriya, when you are so...
Yes, it happens. That's the end goal, no? Yeah, so that what happens when the thoughts are silent and the emotions are silenced, then what happens? Automatically move into the third state, the third body, the causal body.
sometimes in the long day it happens in the middle of the...
Yes. You have to keep breathing. Keep breathing. Yeah?
That's why Guruji keeps saying, don't
Keep saying that. Yeah? So only at the end let it happen. Because by that time you are completely empty of your emotions and your thoughts and all the garbage. At least for some time you can just go and be yourself. You are that causal body. Now you are just yourself, the causal body. And just be there. That is meditation. And that is death. You've been practicing death. It's that simple and that peaceful. So drop this fear of death. It's unreasonable, it's silly, it's mind-made up stuff. Yeah? Got it? In Kriya every day when you do, you are transcending the mind. Yeah? You are going to the self that you are. And you are meeting death. So you are actually meeting death twice a day now.
You should say I'm going to practice that as not doing the
Kriya. Perfect.
As long as you don't tell everybody that. Keep it in your mind. You can keep looking for you.
Going to bed, I'm going to rest.
I'm going to practice that. They wonder what is going on. Suddenly she is practicing.
Don't tell others. They have not sat in the Kathopanishad session. This is for me. Don't go home and start teaching them. You know what will happen at your death. Please do not scare them. You want them to come into the knowledge, please ask them to come to the next Kathopanishad session. But you know the qualification for Kathopanishad. You have to do either Patanjali or Ashtavakra to be able to understand this. You realize why I said the prerequisite is mandatory, right? This is such deep knowledge. Otherwise people can make wrong concepts out of this. Misunderstand it totally.
Then we can die together.
Yeah? So you understood you are actually doing, the process of death during meditation or Kriya. Yes? So meditation is confronting death. We did that yesterday, we saw the slide also. Yes? Meditation is actually confronting death, or the fear that you have of death. Drop it. It's unnecessary. Yeah? And Guruji said, no, the people who meditate are fearless. Abhaya. They are fearless. We do not even have the fear of death. Don't you want to be fearless? So drop. It's a silly concept by the mind. Yeah? Just because the entire janta follows it doesn't mean you have to follow it. Janta is the whole world. You have to use your intellect and learn to decipher. Pull out all the weeds and keep only the beautiful flowers. Yeah. So this entire creation, combination of form and formless. And the ignorant give importance to the form. The wise one give importance to formless. Yes? And what is this wise one also called? Dhiraha. Yes? He is the patient one and the brave one. Yeah? Or the courageous. Courageous and bravery, same thing. Yeah? You need a lot of courage on this path. Yes? You need to be brave. Why? What did Guruji say? What did Guruji say?
Defense is the best offense.
And why do you need to be?
Patience.
When somebody is coming to attack, Yeah? You are focusing on patience. That is the second step. First is just patience.
You are waiting for them.
Whatever it is, focus on patience. Yeah? Calm the mind down. Relax. These are all little points he is telling you. Yeah? Guruji does not explain everything elaborately if you've noticed till today. He just said simply in one sentence. You understand? You understand. You know it? It's okay. You have to make that extra effort. Oh, now let me decipher this code. There was some code in this. The language of the matrix he speaks, I say. It takes a very long time to decipher if you are new in the path. It's like, what did he just say? Like yesterday, just one sentence. Yeah? That you move from the physical into the subtle, and then the subtle drops off if sight and sound drops off and you are into the causal. If somebody misses this one line, you miss this entire knowledge.
In your class.
That's what I do. I go to Purusa class and then I go to 8:30. Explain how, what that means. It simplifies all the things. And then we need to put it in graphics. So the correlation makes better sense.
But yesterday
I understand more.
Yesterday when you said that calm down, like watch your breath, see any pain in your body level. So by doing all that thing, I could feel that difference. Like another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, do that to yourself, no? When you are doing your kriya, when you are meditating, whatever you are doing, you watch yourself. I'll tell you one more secret. This is a Tantric method. If you have pain in the body somewhere, yeah, you just tell the body, relax. Suppose your knee is hurting. Yeah? Just put your hand there, close your eyes, withdraw from all the physical world, go within. Yeah, mind is cribbing. It's paining, it's paining. You tell the mind it's okay. Relax, relax, relax. And then you tell the body, relax. Just relax. And keep moving your hand over it. And keep going within. That inner movement here has to happen while you're doing the relax. The moment you're in touch with yourself, the causal body, away from the physical, away from the subtle, the body will relax. The body listens to the causal body. The physical body listens to the causal body. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. Formless is very powerful.
So you can do that also when you're hungry.
All of you experiment today, huh?
Yeah.
Whatever is paining, wherever it is, but you cannot be thinking about she said this and he said this and this. You have to drop that. Drop. The dropping has to happen. The inner moving from physical to subtle to causal has to happen. And at the same time, relax.
I think knowingly or unknowingly I have done it before. Not this thing. But whenever it's paining, I just close my eyes and keep on doing. But what I remember is Vatapi Jirno Bhava. That sentence where the Rishi, he actually digested the monster, meaning whatever the impurities in the thing.
Yeah.
So I just keep on saying things slowly and calm the mind, and it works. And it worked for me, but I didn't know this one, but somehow I knew.
Beautiful. There is knowingness in everybody. This jnana is not new. You know all this. Yeah, it's just that we are totally clouded by the gross. Guruji explained that today. What is gross? Nama and Rupa. Yes? Names and forms, people and what they said. Completely is clouding you all the time. She said this, he said this, he did this. What if she says this? What if somebody does not like this? Name form, going on gross. The consciousness has become gross. That is why We cannot, bring to our awareness all this knowingness which is already there. It's just covered. You buried it. This entire process is of unburying it, opening up all the dirt, throwing it off, unearthing that beauty.
The husk and the rice.
Yes, removing the husk. The rice is already there.
There's one more thing Guruji says about the Tantric system. About the person you hate, you cut off his head. So I did that today morning. So it is not for me.
Don't worry, it's not you guys.
So this thought came about this so-and-so person, and then when I cut off his head in my thought, and then immediately within 5 seconds that thought also gone away. It's not there anymore.
Fantastic.
But we should not have Dvesha even in the thought that he creates Dvesha.
This is for an extremely tamasic person who No, don't point fingers at me. He's just talking. You all have hidden people who you are not talking about.
I mean, it depends. You cut with anger or you cut with...
Okay, we need to finish the session on time, guys. I think with the intensity of this storage, all those hatred, everything will diminish. Yes, right?
Absolutely. That's what spirituality does. It's like soap. It's cleaning all your dirt. Let it happen. Yeah? Again, one more thing Guruji said today, do not justify your hatred. Did you hear that? Yeah, your mind will say, oh no, but he's a bad person, I'm telling you, and if you don't keep, your eyes open, he will do the bad thing again. All kinds of logic mind says. And that makes you gross. Hatred makes you gross. Jealousy makes you gross. Greed makes you gross. Are you seeing this? Oh, there's more than that. Yeah? Not being content with anything. Feverishness. I want this, I want this, I want this. Running makes you gross.
Actually, we can
Lust.
experience that when these thoughts come, we'll feel heavy and unstable. Like
it's not a calm, relaxed feeling. Yeah, feel it. Yeah. Feverishness makes you gross. Lust makes you gross. Lust is nothing but desire for sense of touch, and desiring for a house or desiring for touch is the same. Gross. Yeah. All these desires in the mind just make the mind more and more heavier and gross, and the more gross you are, you cannot perceive the subtle. What is subtle? The Purusa, the Brahman, the consciousness that we are talking about, the causal body, you, that is subtle. You cannot get there because the mind in the middle is so gross, it's thick. It's like a big wall standing there, not letting you go within. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So do not justify hatred or anger or jealousy, any negativity. Yes? And he gave an example of that terrorist and what is the meaning? Why is he telling you that example? Your mind does the same thing. It's really a terrorist. It gives you all these justifications. Oh, this is wrong, this is not right, this is not the way it should be done. What do you expect us to do? Blah, 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 blah. That's how your mind goes on. Observe this. Yeah? And drop, let go. Are you going to sign up with the Naxalites? No, na? Don't sign up with your mind. Drop the mind. Yeah? The subtle body is nothing but a terrorist. And I'm not going to listen to this. I'm going to go within. Yeah? Cross over from the subtle body, which is the mind, intellect, memory, ego, and go to the self, the cause.
Whatever Guruji spoke to them, if we habituate at home, so we can tell the same people who are, being violent in the society. Like how he was able to convince them to come to the home.
He said no, only silence.
Silence.
Only silence.
You could have come to parents with their own self.
And that is the silence of the mind and the inner self, right? And then the love comes out. And when we talk with love, that is conveyed. We don't need words then.
Correct. Silence means what? Teaching them how to meditate, teaching them, you must have taught them Sudarshan Kriya and meditation and all these things. That silence, that silencing their own minds. Not silence, not your external silence.
Keeping mouth is not silence.
No, to bring them to the home, he must have said something, right? That is what I was
There are volunteers working on this, bringing such people to the course.
So how do they convince them?
You have to talk to the volunteers.
Who knows? Destiny.
Yes.
I have a question. You said that when we die, we meet the Guru, and then the mother, and then our ancestors.
Yes.
So, my thought was, what if those ancestors are in other bodies?
Yeah.
In another.
Yeah, but there will be some that would still not take a body so soon. So that also has been covered in another Upanishad, where in between what determines the time, how long before you take another body. Sometimes the soul has to wait for a very long time because its strongest raga, dvesha is still in the body. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's waiting for that raga, dvesha person, whoever it is, to die. And then it waits for that to take birth and that to probably grow up, and then the soul goes there. It's amazing to really do Shvetashvara. I hope Guruji does it.
What is the name of it?
Shvetashvara Upanishad. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Is it true that like if the soul is waiting for a longer period, does it come like as a root or something like that? Does it come back to its place, or is it just a...
There's nothing to be afraid of, but they are here. It's not another realm. They're not up in the clouds. It's a very sweet mythological story to imagine heaven up there or hell somewhere under the earth. It's all here. There are more than 24 people sitting in this room. Is that clear? I can't make it more clear than that. Yeah, so it's not a separate, place. That place is right here. It's another dimension of our existence. Yes, and even science is coming to this today. Those who are really interested in quantum mechanics, and you watched the video I sent you last time.
Yeah.
So they are able to hear.
They have sight and sound, no? So many come. What?
They can hear it.
Is there a limit to how much the soul stays as a soul before it takes another birth?
No, it depends totally on your karma and your strongest impression that determines how long you are going to wait before you take the next birth.
Is it good or bad? Like staying longer is bad? Or is it a suffering?
How long do you want to be in that dream-like state? Not dreaming state of consciousness, dream-like state where you want to do something but you cannot do. Yeah? Like you are asking me a question. another soul sitting there cannot ask me that question. And it's like waiting, who's going to ask that question? Somebody ask that question, somebody please ask that question. It's a very difficult...
Without the body, it's not even expressed.
So that's kind of suffering.
Yes, you have to come back into the human body form to understand, to grow spiritually and reach that window of liberation.
So the World Culture Festival at Guruji saying about 3.5 million, does it include?
Let's ask him.
Actually that happened at Berlin when I went to Berlin, and that time I think he had like 30,000 people or something, and if you physically count them in our church, they were less than that. And so he said, yeah, people were there. At that time, we didn't know this knowledge. Then maybe he knows something like that, I'm not questioning. But the name is so much only, they said, some people have taken pictures and they said, angels were there.
What is subconscious mind then?
Same. The subtle body has more divisions. We will learn. As we go deeper, Guruji will do more Upanishads. We will learn these things.
Those souls who are interested in this knowledge also
They are sitting here.
Huh?
Right next to you.
So exists in the physical form in more than one dimension.
Yes. So there is, not in the physical form, but in its soul form. Because the subtle body is still there. The subtle body has not dropped off. So you can't see that form, but it is still a form, a physical form. Yeah, I explained to you, right, before this, that a subtle body is also a form. It's not visible to this physical eye, but I would still call it a form. Yeah, that is the reason it is still here.
Must be only one, or it could be many.
Levels of existence? You mean dimensions? Yes. There are multiple.
So it's only low energy form. You can't see it. I'm sure one day scientists can measure it. It's a very low energy.
Yeah.
So, to ask the question, one more additional question, what she meant was, the same spirit can exist in more than one dimension at the same time?
At the same time?
So, okay, at any point of time only one dimension.
She's asking, do they exist in different dimensions also? Yes, you can also move out from here and into that. Which will happen. You will experience all this, and
That is what you said about death, no? About the sleep, right? That you are watching you are turning the left side, right, and all that.
yeah, it is moving away from the physical. Okay.
Question. Baby said, when we die, our guru sees us, our mother sees us, and our ancestors. What about those kids who die before their parents?
That's okay, not the parent, but grandparent, great-grandparent, some or the other ancestors will be there.
And when he mentioned that it's the souls that didn't take birth so far, right?
Not necessarily. Those who passed away before you also.
Yeah, but if they are already in some other body, how will you?
If they are not in another body, okay, understand it that way. But first you meet your Guru, because you are on the spiritual path. The Guru is the one that will show you the window to liberation. But while the Guru is talking, if you meet your mom and start going running to her, finish your windows off. So he explains, I don't know if he explained already or in the next video, not yes, in the next video, that Pitras, your ancestors, can form a shield and between you and enlightenment. The shield is only of your own raga and dvesha towards them, of course.
Here and there also it's same.
But it's like they never meet you. Here they cause bondage, there also they cause bondage.
The bondage is in your mind. The moment you drop your raga, dvesha, you are very clear. Nothing can distract you. That is why it is very important to have a guru in your physical body, this lifetime. That guru you will meet even if the guru is alive and you have moved on. I knew that was the next question. So let's go to the main part of today's. What was the topic? What was the name of the topic?
Layers of existence.
Beyond the layers of existence. What were the layers of existence?
The body, the breath, the mind.
What did Guruji begin with? How do you start?
Object, senses, intellect,
Perfect.
Ego, and then
So now, what are the layers of existence?
Object, sensors, mind, intellect.
Sense objects. All these objects are what?
Prakruti.
Nama Rupa.
Nama
Nama Rupa. I am lost in the sound and sight, name and form. Either it is a person in my life I am lost in, or some particular situation, good or bad. Can be either good or bad person, good or bad situation, or a thing. But it is nothing but Nama Rupa. Sense objects. From the objects of the senses, what does he say?
go to the senses.
Go to the senses. So what are the layers? The first is all the Nama Rupa, sense objects. What should I do? First step, withdraw from the objects of the senses and come to the senses. What are the senses?
Five senses.
My eyes, my nose, my ears. Withdrawing from the sense object that I am stuck in, I come to the senses. If I am stuck in seeing something very beautiful, I withdraw from that beautiful object, that beautiful person, and focus on the eye that is looking at that object. If I am stuck in somebody's words, if somebody is criticizing me, saying something, and that is going on playing a record in my mind which is not stopping, I withdraw from that and come to the ear. So from sense objects, I come to the senses, either to the eyes, to the ears. If I'm stuck in some food, or I have a craving right now for chocolate, for pizza, for something, and that craving is just bothering me, I want to have that, I want to have that. You go to the tongue, to the taste, tongue. If you are having a craving for touch, for sex, you focus on the skin. Are you getting that? Withdraw from whatever sense object is and come to the sense, the sense organ. Next, what do I do? Withdraw from that sense object and look at the mind craving right now for that particular thing. Saying, oh, I want this, I want that. Observe the mind, observe. This is a process of becoming 100% aware. So now I observe my mind and the thoughts, and it's seeing something, it's going on, whining, crying, screaming, whatever the mind is doing. Observe the mind. From the mind, what do? I go deeper and see what is this intellect that is feeding the mind all this. The intellect is justifying my hatred, my anger, my craving. Guruji just said, don't justify. If you justify, you will be caught up in the gross. My intellect, is it justifying this is right? Oh, she did this last time. She's always like this. Yeah, I should not be listening to all that she says. If your intellect is going on giving you wrong kind of logic, observe. This is what the intellect is doing. Yeah, that's the process of moving from the gross to the subtle. Yeah? From the intellect, what do?
Ego.
Look at the ego. It is the ego that's saying, how dare she say this to me? How dare? Yeah? What I don't know, what I don't have brains over. I. Or even if it is just craving for food, it is I want, no? I is
Ego.
ego. Got it? Just observe that I, and observe how many times the mind is saying I in that 2-minute self-conversation that you're having. I want this, I don't like this, I. She said this to me. Why? I am this, I am not like this. I. Keep observing. Yeah? When you are at the ego, what do? Take one more step beyond that. Yeah? Guruji defined ego to you. Kalpesh, don't change the slide. That layers was correct. The black slide. The other one will not work without F5 for you. Just stay here. Yeah. Do not change it, please. What is the size of an atom? Who remembers?
1,000 times when you
1,000
got the
times
strand
finite
of hair.
Take a strand of your hair. Cut it.
1,000 times.
100 times. Then just take one of that, cut that into 100 times. Then take one of that and cut it into 10 times.
And that
Tip of that one little hair, whatever remains, can you see that is an atom. That is the size of an atom. Yeah. And what is the size of the ego?
100% finite of that atom.
100 times smaller than the size of an atom is ego.
It's amazing how big it becomes.
It's amazing how big it becomes. Just observe the ego. Just keep observing, observe. Yeah? And then you go one more step beyond. This is where some explanation is required. What is Mahat? 100 times finer than ego. And what is Mahat?
Who is ego?
Who is beyond the ego?
Perfect. When you go beyond your ego, you establish in Mahat. You don't let the ego take over. You become so strong. You don't let this subtle body take over. You have crossed from the subtle to the causal. Transition happens. Yes? And you've established in the causal. So, these are the levels of the cells. Yeah? If you want to call it that. Mahat is the lowest level of the self or the causal body. Mahat is the germinating place of this creation. You will learn this in Yoga Vasishta also. It's called the golden womb, Hiranyagarbha. Yeah. From where ego comes up and says I. And that I leads to the creation of fire, water, ether, air. And from those elements and water, and from that element, the entire creation is born. Prakriti is born.
So now it makes Vishnu and Brahma.
Mahat is the germinating place for this creation. That is where ego gets born. When your journey starts outward, that's how you came. From the Mahat, the ego was born.
How ego was born? Sorry?
Yoga Vashishta. Just now you just listen, it's just the first thing you're getting. Deeper and deeper we learn in Yoga Vashishta.
Germinating place for
Creation.
For the creation, for Prakruti. You get established in the Mahat when you take that journey within. Yes? And you can go beyond Mahat. That is called Avyakta, the unmanifested. Yes, the unmanifested, formless energy has a womb or a germinating place called the Mahat. Yeah, so from Mahat you go to Avyakta, the formless, the unmanifest. And from Avyakta you can go deeper within. Yes, but remember, this Avyakta is what is really called Maya. Yeah? Yes, it is Maya.
Isn't Maya matter?
No. Maya is all this, everything around you. But there is an energy, that has produced this Maya. There has to be the magician that produces the magic tricks. Yes? The magician here is Avyakta. Yes? It produces Mahamaya. Mahamaya is this entire creation and this temptation to want, to grab this, to grab that. Yeah? It has created that magnetic field around every little object. Yeah? That attracts you, that produces lust in you, that produces desire in you. Yeah? So he can be called the one that has planned the strategy, Avyakta, the strategy planner of this entire creation. Wait, I'm not gone there yet. Avyakta is Maya. I have not gone beyond yet. Avyakta equals to Maya. It's still at Avyakta.
When we name somebody Maya, for this Maya, not the other.
Yeah.
So these desires and all this comes from there, or how is it?
It is the plan. Somebody sitting at the top had to plan, no? How Mahesh is going to get attracted to this thing and get lost in this thing. Yeah? The full planning has been done at the level of Avyakta, the formless, the unmanifest.
So plans for the entire universe. It's a plan for the entire universe.
Yes.
How we should
So not through mind. It's not through mind. It's that energy. Yeah. It's formless.
So when I say that I am going in Sakshi Bhava, so I am going to it is like witnessing the Avyakta.
You're taking step by step, no? I'm describing Sakshi Bhava to you. All these steps are Sakshi Bhava only.
That's right, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Now we are Sakshi Bhava to the Avyakta stage.
Yeah, we've reached there. Now we're going one more deeper level and we go one more deeper level.
So it is this Maya level Avyakta that can be influenced by the subtle bodies to fulfill their wishes to somebody.
Subtle body is not even born. I'm going backwards. So if you start from the creation, subtle body has not even come into existence yet. This is the planning and procedure of setting up the business. The business will happen. How? From where am I going to get the money? Yeah? What are the policies and procedures to be followed? How am I going to get the resources? All planning is happening at this time. Yeah? Without thoughts. Formless. It's the energy. Yeah? Avyakta, unmanifest. Yeah? Sankhya philosophy also calls it Maya. Yeah? Sankhya philosophy of the Vedas. If you're really interested, you should really read up these things. Very interesting. We are going subtler and subtler. I go beyond the avyakta. What is that? The Purusa. Yeah. The Purusa is the next. Yeah, the self. Beautiful. Beyond the Purusa is the Brahman. That is the pool of consciousness. Yeah? So what are the levels you learned of the self? Tell me the names. Self. Just the self, not the layers of existence. Just Maha, Avyakta, Purusa and Brahman. What is? Again? Mahat, Avyakta, Purusa and Brahman. These are of the self. Levels of the subtle body, mind, intellect, memory, ego. Got it? Physical body,
Sense objects.
sense objects.
Memory doesn't come under layer of existence.
Yeah, memory is there in the subtle body. No?
So not here.
Not described here, but that's where it is a part of the mind. I told you, no? The mind we can dissect even more. We can keep dissecting. The whole thing?
Yes.
Just the last two. The self I understood, I mean the next two.
The Purusa and the Brahman. Yeah?
That is self, right?
Yes.
After the self.
Yeah. Purusa is the self, the individual self. And Brahman is the pool of consciousness. So Purusa is like the drop of water and Brahman is the ocean.
He's talking about the two after.
Is that what you were talking about, Ravi?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So, what happens if we go back?
Nothingness. Buddha is waiting for you.
Exactly. Like we give example, we are like a drop, and Brahman is the ocean. So when the drop gets back to the ocean, does it lose its identity?
First of all, you don't have an identity. How can the drop say, oh, I am distillery, I am Aquafina? Nonsense. You are water. Recognize that. Drop this false identification. This false identification is sound and sight. Is name and form. Is the root cause of your problem. You are holding on to the problem. Problem is not holding on to you, really. Drop this identification with this body. You are not this body. You do not have an individual identification. Drop this ego that wants to have this individual identification. Only the ego says, no, oh, I want to have my identity. You do not. That's where you have to drop the ego, and the ego is hurt. Oh, I don't have an individual identity.
Social security.
Yeah, no social security number also.
The best thing is not to give any form, any name. Why didn't they give the name?
Why is my name Prasanna?
Yeah.
It would be so difficult to call you now. Hey! Everybody would look. How do we talk to each other?
Someone will not read.
But giving a name creates a problem.
Drop
It's
this.
all Maya.
It's all Maya. This is also one more policy and procedure by the Avyakta. We'll give them names. That's how we'll get them into Maya. Yes. Good one. Put it down.
If you want to understand Maya, go to Goloka.
All my letters want to remember.
Buddha was asked, what did you get by so many years of, he did a lot of tapas, penance, no? Buddha left his kingdom, he left his wife, his children, and he went. Yeah? And how that happened, that also Yeah? He saw death, he saw old age, yeah? And he saw disease. The first time he went out of his kingdom with his Sarathi, the charioteer, and he asked him, oh, what is this? Because Buddha was in a young body that time, a healthy body. He had not seen disease, and he saw a diseased individual. He said, oh, this is disease, this will happen to everybody. Okay. Next, he moved on and he saw what? Old age. So he says, what is this? This is old age, and this is bound to happen to everybody. So Buddha asked, even me, even to this body, even to your body? And he said, yes. And then the charioteer went ahead and they were taking a dead body to the cemetery. So he asked, what is this? So he said, oh, this is the end of life. This is death. This happens to everyone. That moment, Buddha said, if I am going to die one day, I am already dead right now.
What does it mean?
And that moment, Buddha told the charioteer, let's go out of the kingdom. And they went out till the border of their kingdom. He stopped the charioteer, he removed all his gold and all his kingly robes, just wore a loin cloth, and he told him, go back. And the charioteer was like, what are you doing? So he's saying, I told you, I'm already dead. It's done. So he's saying, you cannot leave your wife, your children, just look behind. It was not too far, the palace and the beautiful gardens and everything. And he said, look at that. So he said, if one day that is going to be ashes, it's burning right now. And he said, take everything back. And he walked away. That's how Buddha left. Yeah? And then for years he followed different ways of getting there. At that time, Mahavira was the saint, and they followed the path of starving themselves, starvation. He tried different ways, different tapas and penances, all given by Mahavira. And he was at this point where completely his body was like a skeleton. There's no fat, nothing. Yeah, he could barely walk, and he was going to the water. He was just about to take the water, and he fell unconscious at the bank of the river. So lady comes, she had some rice pudding. Yeah, she feeds him rice pudding and water, and something happens, and an inner awakening that tells him this is not the way. So Buddha did the process of elimination. Not this, not this, not this. This is not the way. And finally, when he sat down and meditated, he reached the causal body, the Purusa. And on the deepest point of his meditation, he experienced the self, or the Brahman consciousness. When he reached that point, it is said, there is a story that he would not speak, he was in silence. He would just not speak. And it is said that the angels came down to him and said, Buddha, speak. So Buddha said, what is the point of saying? One who knows, knows. One who doesn't know. Will not be able to know. So angels said, that is correct. But there are people who are making an effort, who are between the two. They are on the threshold. They just need a direction. They need a little push. And maybe your words could be that direction. So please speak. Then Brahma came down. Sister, Brahma comes down and says, please speak. That one person that can get enlightened by you speaking about this is sufficient. Then Buddha started speaking. And the first question Ananda asked Buddha. Ananda is Buddha's brother actually, who becomes his follower later. So he asked Buddha, what did you get from enlightenment? Buddha says, nothing. Just nothing. But I can tell you what I lost. I lost my anger. I lost my ego. I lost my hatred, my jealousy, my greed, my confusion. All pain, all suffering. Everything is gone. I lost all of that. That nothingness is devoid of all this pain and misery. When you start this inner journey, not just in theory, the book does not need to get enlightened. You need to get enlightened. When you start this journey, and you reach there, you lose all this suffering. And it is only for the dhiraha. Only the wise and the courageous one goes that way. The weak one finds a nice loophole, nice logic, intellect says, out of the process. The wise one goes beyond all the wrong logics that your mind can come up with. Does not let the intellect justify hatred, does not let the intellect justify any dvesha, any fear, any anger, any jealousy. It just dissolves in love. Right? Love makes you subtle. The subtle can be reached through the subtle. So you yourself have to become just full love, devoid of all raga dvesha, to reach that subtle. That is the only way. Yes? So are you ready to lose anger, jealousy, hatred, frustration, or you still want to hold on to it? Tell me. You ready to lose it? Let go. The path is paved. Buddha has done the work for you. Groundwork is done. You have to just walk the path. Yes, I don't promise you that there will not be distractions. There are going to be hajar distractions. Beautiful women, handsome men, people saying this, people saying that, money, name, fame. Even if you become an art of living teacher, you are very spiritual, then also there are hajar distractions in art of living as a teacher, isn't it? Then you get stuck even in the spiritual texts, scriptures. Even that ego can come. Oh, I am a spiritual person. You mortal thing, you are nothing. Can happen, no? So, in fact, I promise you 1,000 distractions on the way. Yes? You be strong. You played the obstacle race, at least in school. How you kept jumping over every obstacle. This is an obstacle race. And you have to come first. Because there is nobody else running there. Your path is also. So draw competition also. Everybody's path is different. It's paved. All the paths are paved. All of you are running on your own paths. At your own speed. Keep moving, keep moving. Charit veti, charit veti. The Upanishad says this. Charit veti. Keep moving, keep moving. However tough it is, keep moving. However difficult life is, just keep moving. Maya is doing its job very well. You have to become stronger than the Maya. Yes, you have to go beyond avyakta to the Purusa. And once you are the Purusa, you recognize someone You are Brahman. That is called yoga. Where the Purusa unites with the Brahman. That is called yoga. Yoga means, English word? Union. Union of what? This inner journey starting and you finally uniting with the Brahman. That is yoga. Doing asanas is not yoga. It's just a limb of yoga. Yeah, there are different limbs of yoga. This table has 4 limbs, no? This is a different table. This table has 4 limbs. This sofa has 4 limbs. Yeah? For yoga there are 8 limbs. Yeah? This we do in Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Just one limb of them is asanas, yoga asanas. Why? Because for those people, who cannot get over the physical body and the pains of the physical and move to the subtle body, for them, chalo, do asanas. Then become aware of the breath and then become aware of the mind. So, in a way, bringing those people in. Everybody has a different way. You taste everything because you don't know which is your way yet. Yeah? So, you do the path of Karma Yoga, which is Patanjali Yoga Sutras. You do the path of Jnana Yoga, which is Ashtavakra Gita. And you do the path of Bhakti Yoga, which is Narada Bhakti Sutras. Do all 3. Taste all 3. Finally you will know that click will happen. It's like falling in love. Is there logic? Why you fell in love with her? You don't know. You can't explain. Yeah? It's just a click that will happen. You will fall in love. Yeah? Something will tell you this is your path. And then you automatically start walking the path. The others remain. Not that you don't do them. But one is a path that you start walking. That is why I say everybody has different paths. Yeah? So start walking. You were asking something?
Narada Bhakti Sutra is the Bhakti Mark. Then Ashtavakra is the
Jnana Mark.
What is the other one?
Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which is Karma Yoga. We are starting with that. That is the basic. You should start with Karma Yoga. Because your mind is so much into doing. No? So Karma Yoga is a good point to start. This Thursday, we'll have our first session at 6:30 p.m. at Mridula's house. Yeah?
We are having Ashtavakra that time.
You are in the Ashtavakra batch, no? That's okay. You can start later. You complete your Ashtavakra. You have just 5 to go. Yeah, you will be done. For the others who have not started any knowledge session, you start this Thursday. Yeah? Don't postpone. No, can we start after a few weeks? Finish. This momentum will be gone. Yeah, your car has started. It's warm. The engine is, ready to go. Don't suddenly stop it. Now just keep going. Attend as many knowledge sessions as possible. You don't know where that click happens, in which meditation you go within and you are with the causal body. You have no idea. You seeing what I'm saying? So never say no to a knowledge session. Wherever it is happening, yes, I'm going. Priority should be your own self, your own mind. Yeah? If your mind is calm, relaxed, you are in love, you can give love. If your mind is full of hatred, anger, jealousy, feverishness, ambition, running here, running there, fears, that's what you give everybody. Correct? You give what you have, no? Can you give what you don't have? Yeah?
It's a Thursday only.
Yes. Every Thursday evening at 6:30. Every Thursday evening. It will take around 13 to 14 weeks. Yeah? It's okay if one particular week you have an emergency, you have to go somewhere, that's fine. We'll send you a video, you can make up. Yeah? But I think that like 2-3 teachers in this room, they will have Guruji's DVD. You can borrow the DVD, watch Guruji's talk. Yeah, borrow. We'll send you my discussion video also. You can make up and then come to the next session. But don't do it for every session.
It's of no meaning then.
Yeah, it's of no use. Yeah, because the session that you actually make up on your own, you'll have the poorest understanding of that. Be confident about that. 100%. Yeah? The group energy actually helps. How many of you have done knowledge sessions with me on Hangout also? You see the difference in the room and on Hangout?
Yes.
Group energy matters. Yes? It's the group together which actually helps raise your sattva level. What is sattva? Now tell me after doing this.
Being causal body.
Yes, being completely in the causal body. If I'm lost in, she said this, he said this happened, that happened, oh this is so bad, my life is full of misery. When I come into a group where everybody is talking knowledge or even just listening quietly to knowledge, what happens? I move from my subtle body to the causal body because of the magnetism of that group. You see what I'm saying? Sangha is called. Sangha. Sangha. Sangha is what uplifts you. Yeah. It's a very magnetic thing which happens automatically. Suddenly you slip into the physical, suddenly you slipped into the subtle, suddenly you're here, again you're there. You see what I'm saying?
We talked about knowledge and action as the food of
death. Beautiful. Good. What this means, death happens where? Deep sleep state. Yeah, in the deep sleep state, where is your knowledge? Knowledge belongs to subtle body. Action belongs to physical body. Got it? You have withdrawn from the physical, come to the subtle, given up action. You have withdrawn from the subtle and now come to the causal. We're talking about the process of meditation, process of sleep, or the process of birth and death. Yeah, you have withdrawn from the subtle and come to the causal. So you have also dropped knowledge. Death happens in deep sleep and erases everything. So, what is the food for death? Knowledge and action. Got it?
But we say that this is sadhana, it is going to come with us. Then how is it?
As in, you cannot attain the Brahman through knowledge or through action. We are coming to that part. Yeah? All this knowledge, fantastic. It helps me drop the raga and dvesha, drop, cleanse, purify, start moving towards the inner self. Yeah, I move away from the sense objects to the senses, to the mind, to the intellect, to the memory, to the ego. I come to the door. Remember the door I told you? What is the door? What is the door? Mahat. I just said, no, you come from sense objects to the senses. Listen, 100% here. From the sense objects, you're coming to the senses. You're coming to the mind, to the intellect, to the ego. And now you're right at the door of the self. The self has how many layers? 4. What are the 4? When I'm at that door, everything gets wiped off. Knowledge, action, everything gets wiped off. This process of dropping raga and dvesha is essential to reach this door. I will not be able to reach this door if I don't drop my raga dvesha, correct? So actually I am only eating it up, no? Yeah? Death is not some big figure sitting over there eating it up. Understand what is death. It is a process that I am doing to myself. I am going within and deeper within, away from raga and dvesha, dropping nama and rupa, and I come to the door. Yeah? To the door of Mahat. Now what happens? Can I enter it myself? No. He's saying till here you can come. From here it is the grace of the divine that will decide whether it reveals itself to you or not. Got it? That was the meaning of it. That's why you're like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. So they make you do it. And then they say, oh, after being on this point, it's unknowable.
I think there's another one. One who is pure attains it. Knowing is different than something is there.
Knowing is different than really attaining it. Yeah? You can know all this bookish knowledge. Oh, I have become an expert. You can by heart everything that I taught you today. And you can go and vomit it out. But have you really understood? Or experienced it? No. Yeah? So, knowing it as a bookish pandit is different, but experiencing it as a yogi, implementing this, practicing this, going within is different. Yes? Got the difference?
Does that mean that when they say that Guru is at the door, this is what it is?
Guru will show you the light. Yes? That is why do not get distracted by the Pitras. Pitras are ancestors. Do not get distracted. Drop all your raga and dvesha in this lifetime, in this human body before you reach that point. Great. Mom and dad, you love them. I'm not saying don't love them, but don't have a raga or dvesha either to mom or dad or grandparents. It can be anybody. Family.
Why would they do that?
He explains it.
He explains it, no? He already did? Okay. He did, no? It happens here also, no? You just said same thing. Same raga and dvesha you're going to carry with you. It gets frozen in ice the moment you die. And they are frozen with that attitude, that anger, that hatred, that jealousy, that greed, that attachment. Over-attachment. No, I won't let my baby go out the door. I won't let the baby walk. You're not letting the baby progress. The baby has to progress. You have to let the door open and let the baby walk on its own. No, I'm always going to hold my baby. The baby is never going to learn to stand on his feet. Yeah? So that's where, somewhere, love becomes attachment, feverishness, possessiveness, overprotection. You seeing this, what I'm saying? Yeah? So don't ask why they do it, doesn't matter why they do it. You focus. My focus is clear, Guru. My Guru. And that focus has to start now. Do you have that focus in life? Or is this just weekly time pass? Nothing else to do. I don't like to watch movies anymore. Anyway, Buddha, what will I understand today's movies? Let me do this. If that's the attitude, then I'm telling you, God is a thorough businessman. You give him $1, you will get $1 worth. Yeah? You have to completely give yourself in here. $1-2 nahi chalta. Completely give yourself in here. Even drop this identity that I am something. Dropping that ego even is required. Then also there is no guarantee, huh? Then you are still standing at the door of Mahat. Now, it's the grace of the divine that lets you in. So, there was a sutra where he says, the self does not reveal itself to those who desist not from temptations. What is temptation? Raga and dvesha. I want this, I don't want this, I like this, I don't want, I don't like this. I'm stuck. Raga, Dvesha, Raga, Dvesha. So unless you drop your Raga, Dvesha and reach the door of Mahat, there is no... You don't have a life, basically. You're not living. True life begins when you actually experience that Purusa, the Brahman, when you unite.
So when you come to Mahata, there is no need for any knowledge. Other person.
You need this knowledge to reach Mahata.
To reach there.
Yes.
After that you don't need it. Then you carry it with you.
Then it's the self. If it wants to reveal itself to you, it will open the door. What was the topic of the previous video that we saw? What was the name? The grace of the divine. It's only the grace of the divine that will decide whether it wants to reveal itself to you or not. Whether you have the patrata or not. So you become the patra. Yes? Cleanse yourself. It's actually an effortless exercise. Yeah? He's telling you actually just don't dirty. Stop playing in the mud. That's all it's saying to you. That's the only effort, to stop playing in the mud. Yeah?
If you cross the gate of that Mahat, then you are not disturbed by anybody, any ancestor or anything. Then you are free.
Yes, absolutely. Then, of course, then you have the freedom if you want to come back. You can come back. Yeah? Voluntarily take a body. Voluntarily decide this is where I want to come, to these parents. And voluntarily come and teach us. Yeah? Help us all cross that gate.
Then we watch for well at the same time.
Absolutely. Anytime you can start playing in the mud. The mud is there and it's very tempting.
Is it the thing like whoever crossed the Mahat, they have to take the body?
No.
Like they have the liberation or they have the freedom to choose. If they take it, it's fine. They are here again. If not, what happens to them?
Don't take it. You just unite with the divine.
Well, unite with the Brahman. Okay. You become ocean.
You become the ocean. Yeah. It's more fun being the ocean than being a little drop. It has all this false ego. I am something. So much fun to be the ocean. Yeah, but come back, please. Teach us all. Clear? Huh.
So at what level do we start growing beard and
How sweet! I have not started yet. There is no need to do all that. There's really no need to get into that, yeah?
For some people it may be too late anyway.
Anybody can attain it. Anybody, any of you. Yeah? So drop this thing, your intellect also gives you this new logic. Oh, it is for the youngsters, I am so old at this age, where will I understand all this? Where will I be able to let go of my raga and dvesha? No. Wrong logic given by the intellect. Discard all kinds of wrong logic. Oh, it's not for me. I am more into the material world. I like this, I like that. It's not for me. Again, wrong logic. Drop. Every wrong logic that comes up, keep dropping it. Yes, I'm too attached to this person, I'm too attached to this thing. Drop. All a making of your own mind. Guruji said that sutra, no? Sukhasya dukkhasya nakopi data. There is no giver of joy and sorrow. Both. You feel, no, that somebody else has given me sorrow. It's not somebody else. You're making. Yeah? And who can give you this joy of uniting with the Brahman?
You.
Only I. Nobody else can help me here. It is an individual journey. Yes? You are a dhiraha, you will start walking. You're a weak person, what do you do? Listen to the intellect, wrong logic and jump out. You decide, are you dhira or not?
So that's where
All set? Clear? Yeah.